Good morning. You're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform, Facebook Live from 3Team Pest Trade Academy. My name is Dele Ayimibo. We'll continue our conversation on AFCFTA, the what, the why, and the how to export to Nigeria. The what, the why, and the how to export to Nigeria. And this morning I'll be talking about very crucial issue. In fact, maybe for most part of this week, actually. Maybe for most part of this week. I'm talking about very crucial issue, and it's the issue of NAFDAC. It's the issue of NAFDAC. So I will start with the food, then move to drug, and then talk about cosmetics. And I'll be discussing the guidelines. NAFDAC guideline for food imports, then NAFDAC guideline for drug imports, and then NAFDAC guideline for cosmetic import into Nigeria. You know, if you are very familiar with Nigerian market, you know that one of the major challenges that we face in Nigeria is quality issue. Such that even buying a drug, I was talking to a doctor some times ago, and he was saying that, look, I think someone was taking a drug and we're not seeing the effect, and he was saying, why don't you just change the place you buy that drug again, go and buy it in another pharmacy, and then check it very well. You know, there is this security now or stuff now they put on some drugs that have some code that you can send to a particular number to verify the authenticity of the drug. It's so unfortunate that an individual will wake up and say he wants to do business, and the business he wants to do is to sell fake drug to fellow Nigerians. It's most unfortunate. What's interesting about this is the fact that NAFDAC was set up to prevent this from happening, but unfortunately, it's still happening. Unfortunately, it's still happening. The drugs are everywhere, and you can't even trust the drug you're buying. You know, the goal of a drug really is to produce therapeutic effect and cause healing in the body. So when you begin to now sell fake drugs, that means you are a killer. You're a murderer, actually, because that means someone is sick in the hospital, on the hospital bed, almost dying, and he needs to get a drug to get well, and then he buy this drug that's supposed to help him, and he took this drug for a week only to discover that nothing has changed in the body because he's been taking rubbish, or he's been taking placebo, taking an item that have no therapeutic effect, and human beings is selling it to another human being. You know, sometimes I wonder if we have even lost our humanity, that an individual we have the conscience to sell a product that is supposed to cause healing, but it's not causing any healing. I can spare maybe other fake product. I can understand. I can explain it. Maybe, I mean, at least if you buy a fake product, you use it for 1 or 2 days, you at least probably enjoy the effect a little. But what do you say about fake drugs? I can't explain it. It's just like we've lost our humanity completely. So people are not just interested in helping, because the goal, and that's the challenge of people doing business and not understanding the goal of a business or the reason why they're doing business. The purpose of a business is to create value, and the goal is to make money. Every time human beings focus on the goal at the expense of the purpose, he will always end up doing something inimical, illicit, and illegal that is destroying the society or the environment. Anytime that happens, because then you look away from the whole idea why the business exists, which is the purpose, and you're focusing only on the goal, which is to make money. And as long as all you are thinking about is money making at the expense of value creation, you will do illicit stuff. You will do illegal stuff. At the end of the day, you find yourself just interested in selling rubbish as long as it brings money. As long as it brings money. And that's what I see about people going to India and telling them to bring in drugs and reduce the potency of the drug, such that at the end of the day, the whole idea of what the drug is supposed to do, the pharmacodynamics of the drug is eroded completely just because someone wants to make money. Now, I'm saying all this to explain the fact that we indeed need NAFDAC in Nigeria. However, NAFDAC have not done what it was set up to do effectively. As long as we are still finding fake drugs as long as we're still seeing expired food, these are signs that NAFDAC has not done what it's supposed to do in Nigeria. And it is most unfortunate, really, most unfortunate that is happening in our country, because the NAFDAC is an agency that government already set up, and government are given everything it needs to be able to do what it needs to do. But like I said, NAFDAC is not doing enough. So that's a challenge to NAFDAC. The NAFDAC should do enough to be able to help the Nigeria environment is doing, Nigerian citizen rather, is getting value for what they are paying for. So I'll be talking this morning on the guideline for import of food item into Nigeria. These guidelines are of the interest of the general public, and in particular, importer of food into Nigeria. I'll be reading and explaining. So, because these are not my thoughts. These are the thoughts of NAFDAC I got on their website. It is necessary to emphasize that no food product shall be manufactured, imported, exported, advertised, sold, distributed, or used in Nigeria unless it has been registered in accordance with the provision of NAFDAC and other related legislation and company guidelines. You know, as I'm reading that thing, something is just coming to my mind. If this is what NAFDAC have stated, because that's what the law says that is having NAFDAC, so what happened to all this food being exposed in Oyigbo market, being exposed in Bariga market, being exposed in Oshodi market, being exposed in different markets around Lagos? You know, I was in a program recently and someone actually made this assertion and asked that, why is NAFDAC not... Why is NAFDAC disturbing people that even package the food saying that it's not registered? But they are not going to the market women in Oyigbo that is selling poison to Nigerians. And disturbing people who have even done some level of processing in the first place. Just the way government is interested in people that are paying tax to pay more and not going after people that are not paying tax enough. Or the people that are doing MOT, registration of vehicle, are going after the people that have registered saying that you need to come and do your test of your vehicle, and not going after the people that don't even have registration at all. Because sometimes you begin to wonder if, you know, anyway, people have described our country in different ways because of some of these issues. It's really unfortunate, really. It's really unfortunate. It's most unfortunate, but that's where we find ourselves. This is Nigeria. All right, so let me continue. Application. A written application for registration of imported food registration should be made on the letterhead of the company and directed to the Director General of NAFDAC. Registration and Regulatory Affairs, to the Director, Registration and Regulatory Affairs Directorate. Ground floor, NAFDAC Office Complex, Isolo Industrial Estate, Oshodi Apapa Expressway, Isolo, Lagos State. The application letter should include the common product and brand name where applicable. Now, step 1 in registration of import of food for importation. Step 1. The following document, all originals, and 2 sets of photocopies. Originals and 2 sets, and I think NAFDAC need to automate this thing. NAFDAC need to automate these things. NAFDAC need to automate these things. From what I'm seeing here, he's saying they have to drop it in Oshodi. Okay, then NAFDAC calls for those outside Lagos. This document, a photocopy including printout of the completed online registration form, are to be submitted at the liaison office of the director. Liaison office of the director, LOD, Regulatory and Registration and Regulatory Affairs. Apart from also the Expressway. So here are the documents to be submitted. And you must have all originals and 2 photocopies of each of them. All original and 2 photocopies. Number 1, notarized declaration. Notarized declaration. And the format is already in the appendix of this registration on the website of the... And to be completed, type, signed by declarant, and notarized by a notary public. You are declaring the intention to register. And you are saying you are the owner of this product, you have what it takes to do it. And so you go to a notary public to ensure it's notarized. Number 2, power of attorney or contract manufacturing agreement. applicant on behalf of a manufacturer outside Nigeria must file the evidence of the power of attorney from the manufacturer which authorizes him to speak for his principal on a matter relating to the particular drug. So you need power of attorney. If you are not the owner of the goods, you are producing for someone, or you have you are a representative of the manufacturer of the product in Nigeria, you are to get the power of attorney and attach it. Remember, one original, 2 copies. Still on step 1, documentation. Power of attorney shall be issued by the manufacturer of the product, signed by the managing director or general manager or chairman or president of the company, stating the name of the product to be registered. The power of attorney shall also indicate the authority to register the product with NAFDAC. So basically, NAFDAC is trying to ensure that you don't say you are registering a product that the owner of the product have not authorized you to register. NAFDAC is trying to say that they will not be joining a suit to register a product where you don't have the authority. So you must produce an agreement, a manufacturer agreement, or power of attorney. Or power of attorney. A manufacturer agreement or power of attorney. A manufacturer agreement or power of attorney. If you do not have this power of attorney, I'm sorry. If you do not have this power of attorney, I am sorry. Sorry? You will not be able to get this product registered with NAFDAC. Remember what the power of attorney should state. It should be issued by the manufacturer. Remember, you can have contract manufacturing agreement in lieu of the power of attorney. You can have contract manufacturing agreement in lieu of the power of attorney. But if it's the power of attorney, it should be issued by the manufacturer of the product and signed by the owner of the company, a general manager, a president, a managing director, and it shall be indicate authority to register product with NAFDAC. Authority to register product with NAFDAC. The power of attorney shall state the ownership of brand and trademark. Ownership of brand and trademark. Notarized by a notary public in the country of manufacture. The power of attorney you are bringing must be notarized by a notary public in the country of manufacture. It must be notarized by a notary public in the country of manufacture. And that power of attorney must be valid for 5 years. Expiry is 5 years. Contract manufacturing agreement. An applicant filing an application on behalf of his company and being the owner of the product shall provide a contract manufacturing agreement which shall be signed by himself or his competent representative and the manufacturer. The agreement shall be notarized by a notary public in the country of manufacture. So you know what NAFDAC is trying to do? Any document you are going to submit to NAFDAC that give you authority in form of delegated authority or in form of an agreement, NAFDAC is trying to ensure that it is a legalized document. And I can understand NAFDAC. I can understand NAFDAC because, you know, so many things are happening in our country today. People are pirating product and registering it. You know, they are registering it. If you are going to notarize it, it's a legal document. Most likely, notary public will likely confirm who exactly they are notarizing for. Notarized by notary public in the country of manufacture, signed by both parties, stating names and designation of signatories with the name of all the product to be registered and other relevant clauses, clearly explained in an unambiguous language. Certificate of manufacture or free sale. The manufacturer shall show evidence that the company is licensed to manufacture that product, and that the sale of the product does not constitute a contravention of the law of that country, that is free sales. The certificate of free sales. The certificate of free sales. NAFDAC want to ensure that if I'm importing manufactured food item, that food item must be allowed for sale in that country. You know, sometimes a company is licensed to produce a product which is supposed to be distributed freely to the society. But unfortunately, sometimes that company will be selling the product, you know. So, for example, mosquito net. Mosquito net are imported to Nigeria, and right on it you see not for sale, not for sale. They are imported from a donor agency to be given freely to Nigerians to prevent the advent of malaria parasite infection by mosquito. But you know what? People will be selling it, and you say on it not for sale. People will be selling it, and you say on it not for sale. So you are expected to have certificate of free sales to be sure that this product is allowed to be sold in that country. It must be issued by relevant regulatory or health agency in the country of manufacture. It must indicate the name of manufacturer and product to be registered. It must be authenticated by the Nigerian Embassy or High Commission in the country of origin. In countries where no Nigerian embassy exists, any Commonwealth or ECOWAS country shall authenticate the document. Any ECOWAS or Commonwealth country. So if Nigeria does not have embassy in that country, go to any ECOWAS member state or any Commonwealth member state, can authenticate the document. You know, these documentations are serious documentation, man. For me to import into Nigeria food item, register under NAFDAC. Documentation, comprehensive analysis. Still on under documentation. Number 3, comprehensive analysis of certificate. Comprehensive certificate of analysis. The certificate of analysis must be presented on a letterhead paper of the quality control lab where the sample was tested, evaluated, and should remain the under listed information: the brand name of the product, the batch number of the product, the manufacturing and expiry date, the name, designation, and signature of the analyst, evidence of business incorporation of importing company with Corporate Affairs Commission of Nigeria, evidence of business incorporation with Corporate Affairs Commission of Nigeria. That's after you have already presented a lab analysis that showed the brand name of the product, the batch number of the product, and a sample of the product, rather, brand name, batch number, manufacturing date, expiring date, name and designation and signature of the analyst. All these will be on the certificate, apart from the detailed analysis of the nutritional fact. Brand name must be stated on the analysis report. Batch number of the must be stated on the analysis report. Manufacturing date and expiry date of the sample analyzed must be stated on the analysis report. Designate the name, the designation, and the signature of analyst must be on the analysis report. Then you must have registered with Corporate Affairs of Nigeria, evidence of registration of your brand name with your trademark in the registry of Ministry of Trade and Investment. This should be registered in the name of the owner of a trademark and brand as the case may be. The label and artwork of the product. Letter of invitation for good manufacturing practice inspection. Letter of invitation to inspect the factory abroad shall be written by the manufacturer and shall state the following: manufacturer information, that's the name of the company, full location, address, and factory, not the administrative address, the factory address, the email, the phone number of the contact person overseas, the local agent information, the name of that local agent, the name of the company, the full location, address, functional phone number, email address, detailed name, phone number and email, contact person in Nigeria, the name of the product for registration also should be stated. Now, what I've discussed so far is only documentation. Now, I'm not worried about this documentation at all. I am for good documentation because we are dealing with food and human life is involved. People are going to eat this food. Human life are going to be involved. So I'm 100% with NAFDAC on this one. 100% on NAFDAC on this one. So if you are going to import food item into Nigeria, you must go through all these processes. You must go through all these processes. And this is so important. This is very important. You must go through all these processes. The reason why you must go through all these processes is because all these processes ensures that, number one, NAFDAC is protected so that when they do this inspection, nobody will come and sue them for registering a product that is not allowed for registration in other countries or not allowed for sale in other countries. So NAFDAC, number one, is protected. So I can understand NAFDAC. NAFDAC number two, NAFDAC is not just protected, NAFDAC is also ensuring that you are authorized to do what you are about to do. NAFDAC is also ensuring that you are authorized. So you are not bringing product into Nigeria that you don't have the authority to sell. You are authorized. So I'm very much with NAFDAC on all this. Very much with NAFDAC on all this. If you are not authorized, then it will mean that NAFDAC, if you are not authorized. So I'm also with NAFDAC on that. And NAFDAC authorization is not just any document you pick up on the street. You must notarize it. So basically ensuring that that document have a legal backing. Ensuring that that document have a legal backing. Ensuring that that document have a legal backing. So critical, so crucial, so important. 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 That you have a legal backing to do what you are doing. Number three, NAFDAC want to ensure that you are also a legal entity in Nigeria. NAFDAC want to ensure that there is a lab in your country abroad that have analyzed the product. NAFDAC is going to analyze its own. Is going to analyze its own, and they're going to compare their result with yours. But more importantly, NAFDAC will have to go to your country and come and test the product. Check the product. Check your good manufacturing processes to ensure that letter of invitation for good manufacturing processes. They will come and inspect the factory to be sure that this factory is operating now, number one, under the law in the country in question, but more importantly, under the law, as far as Nigeria is concerned, that Nigeria is not importing poison. In the evening, we'll be talking about the permit. Number one, we'll talk about documentation. Then we'll be talking about the permit itself. Thank you very much for listening. See you in the evening. Bye for now.